Hey guys, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel. So, let's get the elephant out of the room. Yes, I look crazy. I painted Aurora Borealis on my eyes, so this look should already be up on my Instagram.
Just kidding, the pictures turned out ugly, haha.
But today I want to just kind of take you guys through my makeup collection and do an end of the year declutter. I get a lot of questions whenever I do a declutter of what I do with the makeup that I get rid of. So most of the makeup I get rid of, I sell in my Poshmark closet. So Poshmark is basically just a buy-sell service. They have an app and a website. You basically just sell your stuff that you want to get rid of. It's really simple. I've been using Poshmark for like 5 years or something. I have like 200k followers on Poshmark, which I don't know how the hell that happened, but it's completely free to list your items, so that's awesome. But I love selling and buying through Poshmark. I get a lot of stuff like clothing and makeup on there, and it's just awesome to find some great deals. So a lot of the stuff that I declutter within this declutter are going to be listed on my Poshmark. I do not like to sell my PR. That's gross and unethical, so yeah. But yeah, I will have my Poshmark link down below so you guys can shop that if you'd like to. Thank you so much to Poshmark for sponsoring today's video, and thanks for helping me get that bread. Hey guys, so we are going to be filming the declutter today. Here is what my vanity looks like. Basically, it's just a desk with a big shelf unit stacked on top of it. On the bottom, I have my palettes, as you can see down there, and then just some miscellaneous stuff like beauty sponges. And then up on top, I mostly have my face powders, lipsticks, mascaras, contours, and cheek products. And then towards the upper shelves, we have skincare on the left, foundation in the middle, cheek palettes, highlighters, and other stuff like bronzers, blushes, and highlights. And then we have more foundation, primers, lashes, glitters, face sprays, and an excessive amount of boxes. So as you can see, we definitely need to go through and declutter. I have a problem. I have a really big problem.
Stop it. Get some help.
You can see me in the mirror. Hi, I look like trash. I saw Alana Davidson do a video very recently, pretty much the same thing as this. So I'm gonna try and follow the same format she did, basically just going in, zooming in on different areas of the makeup collection and just going through all the stuff and decluttering as we go. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Grab a snack and let's do this.
What the fuck is that?
Alright, so I'm going to start off with the eyeshadow palettes. I'm just going to take everything out, go through every single item in the palette collection, put everything back that I want to keep, and then go through the products I'm planning on decluttering with you guys. Starting with my Morphe palettes, I'm keeping the 39A, James Charles, and the Jaclyn Hill palette. I hesitated on this Moira Cosmetics one, so I put it aside for later thoughts. I'm keeping my Jewelry & Cosmetics Paradise palette and my Il Makiage 12 color eyeshadow palette. I'm keeping my Too Faced Natural Face palette just because of the packaging. Is that bad? Yeah, it's bad. I'm keeping the BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil, but not the Carly Bible palette. I'm getting rid of the Morphe 35O as well, and then my single shadows, that's staying obviously. The Sugar Pill Pro palette, also staying obviously. Then my Pinky Rose Transition palette in Plum I'm keeping, but I got rid of the Sunflower palette. Keeping my Morphe 25B palette just because I like the cool tone neutrals in there, and then my Juvia's Place Masquerade Mini. My Juvia's Place Zulu palette is staying as well. And then my Juvia's Place Festival palette, also staying, and my Juvia's Place Saharan too. Next up is my Morphe Jaclyn Hill Vlog collection. So I set aside the Ring the Alarm palette, which is the warm tone one, but I'm keeping Bling Boss, Armed and Gorgeous, even though I did hesitate on this one, and then I'm also keeping the Dark Magic palette because it's beautiful. Not that my ABH palettes were up for negotiation, but Soft Glam, Subculture, the Modern Renaissance palette, the Norvina palette, the Prism palette, and the Master palette by Mario are all staying. I would never get rid of any of these because I collect them, but yeah, those are all staying. Next are my Huda Beauty palettes, so I'm keeping the new Nude palette because I love that one, and then the Desert Dusk as well. Then my Ace Beauté palettes, I'm keeping the Paradise Fallen and the Classical Paradise. My e.l.f. palettes, the Mad for Matte Jewel Pop is staying, and then the Summer Breeze I wasn't sure about, and then I compared it with Holy Smokes. I decided to get rid of Holy Smokes and keep Summer Breeze. And then this is my Marc Jacobs Scandalous palette. Next are the remaining deck of Scarlet palettes, so I have edition number 11 and edition number 9. I decluttered the other ones, and then my Colourpop palette. So Dream Street is staying, Yes Please I decided to get rid of. The Good Sport palette, obviously staying. The She palette, I kept this one for the packaging once again because I have problems. And then the My Little Pony palette, which I kept. Oh, this one hurt, but the Tartelette and Bloom I decided to get rid of. I kept the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes though, because I love the peachy nudes in there. I decided to keep the Color Ruin Queen of Hearts palette on the condition that I'll use it more often. Moving into dupes territory, I have a bunch of palettes from C Color Cosmetics. They basically just make a bunch of dupe palettes, so you know what that's a dupe of. The Beauty Creations Tease Me palette I'm getting rid of because I have the dupe for it, and then the Naked Heat palette from Urban Decay I'm keeping, but I want to use it more often. My Makeup Revolution Soph palette I got rid of, and then revisiting the Moira palette, I decided to keep it. I'm keeping all three of the Jouer Skinny Dip, Pat McGrath Mothership 2, and Desi Katie Francation palette. Decluttering this little baby mini palette from Folklore Cosmetics, but I'm keeping the Ciate Glitter Storm. I'm also keeping the A2O Labs Emerald Beach, Kylie Cosmetics Purple palette, A2O Wildflower palette, and then my single shadows as well. Keeping the mini Lila palette and the Joya palette from Natasha Denona just because they were so damn expensive, I can't get rid of them. Alright, so here are the palettes I've decided to get rid of and just some of the eyeshadows. I'm just going to run really quickly through them. So I'm getting rid of the Immerse palette from AOA Studio just because it did not really impress me. The colorful formula in here was not my favorite, and I'm sure there's just somebody who would love this a lot more than I could. I'm also getting rid of the Soph Makeup Revolution palette. I used to really like this a lot, especially when I first got it, but I feel like the shimmers have really dried out, and I wasn't a huge fan of the mattes in general. I'm just not a huge fan of Makeup Revolution eyeshadows, I've found. So this I'm going to pass on. Again, I'm sure there's somebody out there who could love it more than I could, so I'm going to clean off the outside because it did get pretty dirty. Another one I'm getting rid of is the Beauty Creations Tease Me palette, just because I did a video reviewing this one next to the Huda Beauty New Nudes palette. I said that this was a dupe, but now I have the Huda Beauty New Nudes palette and I can't have two palettes so similar in my collection. So I'm going to get rid of this one. I just like the Huda better. From the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Vault collection, I'm going to get rid of the Ring the Alarm palette. Not because it's bad, I actually did enjoy this one a lot, and I thought there were a lot of really nice shades in here. The reason I'm getting rid of this one is because it's so similar to pretty much every other color I have from Morphe. I can find dupes for every single shade in here in any of my other Morphe palettes, so I'm going to get rid of this one. I am keeping the rest of the Vault collection, but this I feel like is just not really needed in my collection. I'm also getting rid of my Tarte Lit & Bloom palette, which is a sad moment, but ever since I got the Anastasia Soft Glam, I just haven't really been using this one as much, even though I do reach for neutrals very often. I have so many other neutral palettes I'd reach for over this one. I have a palette from Folklore Cosmetics. They sent me this one. It's a really pretty cute neutral palette. I was planning on keeping it just for these two shades here because they're really good transitions, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really like it that much, and there's definitely other palettes in my collection that I could get those two shades from, so it's not really needed, and it's cute, but I don't really want it that much. I'm getting rid of one of my Pinky Rose transition palettes. This is the Sunflower one. It's a dupe for the Subculture palette, so I just like Subculture a lot more. I think the shadows in Subculture are, while they are more pigmented and they can be harder to work with because of that pigmentation, I'd rather get that really rich color payoff, and again, I don't really need to have duplicates of palettes in my collection, so I'm going to get rid of this one. It's still really good. I do like this one a lot and I still recommend it. I just don't need it, if that makes sense. So it's a sad day. I'm getting rid of the Morphe 350. I never thought I was going to do this one, but yeah, it's just kind of outdated. I've had this one for so long, and there's so many shades in here. There's so many beautiful warm browns, and while I love using this one on other people, yeah, it's outlived its prime in my collection, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. Yeah. Also, I think I'm going to get rid of the BH Cosmetics Carly Bible Deluxe Edition palette. This is huge, and I really like the highlighters in here. I just feel like, again, there's so many other neutral palettes I reach for over this one, and this just hasn't been getting its amount of use in my collection. So I'm also getting rid of this AOA Velour eyeshadow just because it's a lot darker of a shade than I would ever use as a cream shadow. And then these are the ones I'm not really sure about. I know I definitely want to get rid of one of my e.l.f. Matte for Matte palettes. I have Holy Smokes and Summer Breeze, and I'm thinking, ooh, I don't know, because they have a lot of similar matte shades in here. Summer Breeze I pretty much have exactly duped in the Too Faced Just Peachy mattes, but I do love this one for travel. And then Holy Smokes, I was keeping it just for the blues in here, but again, I feel like I have so many colors like this in my collection. So I'm going to get rid of Holy Smokes, and then Summer Breeze. I think I'm going to take it traveling with me to Hawaii, and then if I don't use it after that, I'm going to get rid of it. And then the Colourpop Yes Please palette. I'm also not sure about this one just because so many shades in here I do love. There's just a few that I don't. So I really hate the yellow in here. Some of this, like this gold shimmer, is kind of chunky, and I just don't reach for this one as much. I feel like the color story is a bit dated. I might take some of the singles in here that I really like and then get rid of the rest of the colors. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so these are the high-end foundations. I'm just going to go through these ones. I don't know how many of them I'm going to get rid of, but I'll do my best. And then I guess while I'm at it, I'll just do the drugstore ones as well. Okay, so I did my best with the foundations. I didn't really get rid of that many. I'm decluttering the Becca Ultimate Coverage Foundation just because, I don't know, there's a lot of really good full coverage foundations and it's in the old packaging. I just don't feel like I really need this one in my collection, I guess. I'm getting rid of the number 7 Stay Perfect. Even though I love this one, it's just not the correct shade match for me. Same with the NYX Total Control Drops. I felt like these just took a lot of building up to get to the coverage I wanted. I have the shade Vanilla and I was using this as a mixer, but I have so many other things I could use for that purpose. Also, I'm getting rid of the Dermacol makeup cover. I bought this one because I was like, oh, it's going to be such a great full coverage foundation, and it is very full coverage.
Well, just as I thought, trash.
I have the AOA Studio Perfect BB Cream. This I liked, but it just, I don't know, I don't really use BB creams that often, and it doesn't really serve a purpose to me, so I'm really just trying to be strict about this and get rid of things I really cannot see myself using. And actually, no, you know what, I'm gonna keep this. Never mind. So 5 foundations, not bad, but not good either. I'm also gonna do concealers though, because this has gotten out of hand. I want everything to fit into this one mug, and it's not fitting into this one mug, so that bothers me. Okay, so here's what I'm at now. This is what I think I'm going to get rid of. The things I am getting rid of are the AOA Studio Wonder Cover Concealer. This one is just really dry and hard to blend out, so not a huge fan of that. I have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer, not one of my favorites. Everyone says it's like a dupe for Tarte Shape Tape.
No.
This is the Natural Collection Concealer from Boots UK. Quite frankly, the worst concealer I've ever put on my face, so that's going. I have the Fenty Beauty Matchstick in the shade Linen. This came with the contour set, and I promised myself I was going to use it, and I never did, so this should go too. And then I'm also getting rid of the Pure Shake and Bake Concealer. It's a powder concealer, and no. Alright, so this section here, this area is pretty much all like cheek palettes, so contour palettes, blush palettes, highlighters, you name it. And then I have some of my favorite highlighters and just cheek products in this little thing. Probably not going to declutter any of these, and I have a bunch more cheek products up here, as well as some crystals, because I'm superstitious. So let's try and tackle this first, and then we'll move down to the singles. Okay, so here are the like cheek products I've decided to get rid of. I didn't get rid of a ton. I'm pretty like content with my cheek products right now. Getting rid of this Essence Mosaic blush just because I love their satin touch blushes. I just never use this one, even though it is really pretty and it is good quality. Also getting rid of one of the AOA Studio Paleters just because I know I'm never going to use this color. I have 2 shades I'm keeping, so that's more than enough for me. I get rid of this e.l.f. highlighter. I really do like the quality of these. I think they're very similar to Becca. I was keeping this one just so I could compare it with Becca formulas, but I never use this one. It's the shade Pearl Glow. It's a stark white, and I have a lot of other ones that I prefer in a different texture. And like at this point, I just need to be more picky, you know? I'm getting rid of 2 of the new AOA Studio like cream products. I'm getting rid of this Hush blush just because it's a bright pink. I'll never wear this shade ever. And I'm also getting rid of a dewy highlighter just because I don't really use cream highlighter as much, and if I do, it's going to be like a fun color. And I'm also getting rid of this Antonym Cosmetics Baked Highlighter in the shade Endless Summer. It's a really pretty like domed product. I thought it was going to be really gorgeous, but it didn't really show up on me as a highlighter. I tried for a while to use it as like a glowy blush topper, but it just wasn't really doing anything for me, so I'm going to get rid of this one. It's taking up a lot of space too. It's really bulky. I only have like one highlighter from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, but I'm going to get rid of this one. It's the Skin Frost in the shade Ice Gold. I've had this for a while and I can't open it. It's just a basic stark white highlighter, but I'm getting rid of this one because I do not like the formula at all. I think I'm also going to get rid of this highlighting kit from A2O Labs or Shop Miss A, just because there's 3 shades in here that I'm never going to use on my face, and the other 3 I have pressed highlighters in single version from them, so I don't really need this palette, if that makes sense. It's still good though, and I still recommend it. I just don't need it for my purposes. Alright, so I have a bunch of powders here, and I actually have not decluttered powders in such a long time. Like, I haven't even touched this in about a year, so I'm going to move through here and get rid of the things I'm not using. By the way, this thing lurking here on the side is my Anastasia lip palette. I'm not getting rid of this one. I just don't really know where to put it, so I'm going to keep this right here. So here are my 2 Laura Mercier powders. I have Translucent Glow and then Translucent Matte. I'm keeping both of them because, holy grails. Obviously, I'm going to keep my Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder because it's, first of all, stupidly expensive, and B, one of my favorite things in the history of makeup ever. Also not going anywhere is my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder. Also going to keep my Makeup Revolution Luxury Baking Powder in the shade Lace. I hate the packaging of this one, so I actually shake it out into this empty Bare Minerals container. So this is actually this powder, but repackaged. So I'm going to keep these 2 just because I love this. I think I'm going to keep the Colourpop No Filter Setting Powder. This isn't something I would repurchase though. I think it's good. I just, you break down the cost, it's really not worth it for the amount of money you're spending on such a small amount of products. So it's really good for travel though, since it is so small. So I'm going to keep this one with me. You would literally have to pry Glossier Powder from my cold, dead hands. This is not going anywhere. I'm also keeping my Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. I think this is really beautiful on the under eyes. I think it just does an amazing job of making me look less dead. I'm going to keep Coty Airspun as well. This one is a really nice finely milled powder. Kind of similar to Laura Mercier, probably one of the best drugstore setting powders you can get. I think I'm going to get rid of the AOA Studio Perfect Setting Powder just because it is very white. This one does give flashback. Normally I don't really care about that, but since I do have so many setting powders, I need to be a little bit more careful. And also I've been actually going out lately. Yay, me, I've been leaving the house. So flashback has been a bit of a concern lately, and I don't really use this one that often. So I'm going to get rid of this one, even though it is a very affordable option. I don't need it. I am going to keep my Moira Cosmetics All Day Coating Powder. This one is the most finely milled powder ever. Honestly, it's so finely milled that I don't even feel like I'm wearing powder. It's very lightweight. It just kind of looks like a filter, and I really like this one a lot. So even though it does have a bit of a white cast, I'm gonna keep it. That's not gonna fit in there.
That's what she said!
I also think I'm gonna keep the Pure Cosmetics Balancing Act powder. This one is a really nice one for going over whatever mistakes I make with my bronzer or blush. It just kind of tones down whatever cheek products I put on if I go a little bit too ham. I also have the AOA Studio Perfect Press Powder. This one I think I'm going to keep and I'm going to finish up because I do use this one pretty often, but I don't think I would repurchase this just because it kind of smells weird, and that scares me if I'm putting it on my face just because I do have really sensitive skin and I am a bit more acne prone. And then I have like 3 mini powders. I'm going to keep my e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. I think I'm going to like finish up whatever is left in this Tarte thing. And then the Makeup Forever HG setting powder I'm going to get rid of. Alright, so up here, this is kind of a weird shelf. Over here I have some face masks, and then on this side I try and keep all my primers, but now I have too many primers and it's kind of overtaking the face mask side, so I'm going to try and declutter enough primers so that it all fits onto this one half. I don't really like keeping too many primers open, especially because it's the first layer, and if it expires, you're putting an expired first layer on your face. So yeah, I'm going to go through this and try and pare this down. Obviously, I'm going to keep my Tarte Silk canvases because, like, reasons. My Tarte Clean Slate Smoothing Primer, I really liked this one before I got Tarte Silk Canvas. And then this one, it's kind of like the same idea, I guess. It's like a balm primer that you smooth on. I feel like this one's a lot heavier, though, than Tarte Silk Canvas, and I just like that one better. So I think I'm going to pass this one along. I have the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Face Primer. I think I'm going to keep this one just because I have, like, probably less than a quarter left. I did use this one very heavily, so I'm going to finish this one up, and I don't think I'll repurchase it. Same for the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. I tried this one before Tarte Silk Canvas, and I really like this one. I think it was my holy grail before I tried Tarte. But this one just does a better job smoothing. So I will finish this one up, especially because it is stupid expensive, and then I will not repurchase it. There's a hair right here. That's disgusting. I have two primers from Pure. The Prep and Perfect is a really good one, actually. It's a nice, like, pore smoothing primer that doesn't feel too silicone-y, so I'm going to keep this one. Then I also have the Hydrate and Balance. It's more of a moisturizing primer. I think I'm going to keep this one as well. I really like this one for winter. So I'm also going to keep the First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothing one. This one is also very hydrating. My other favorite primer is the Becca First Light Priming Filter. This is not going anywhere. You can pry that from my cold dead hands. I'm going to finish off this little sample of the Too Faced Primed and Peachy. I just have a tiny bit left, and then I'll get rid of that. I will not repurchase it. I'm also going to keep the sampler of the YSL Touche Clot Primer because it's really nice for blurring, but I would not repurchase this one either. I'm going to keep the Becca Glow Elixir because it's literally the nicest foundation mixer. I don't really use this one as a primer so much as I do as like a dewy foundation mixer. It's beautiful like that. I'm going to get rid of these two Benefit ones, the Professional and then That Gal. They're sample sizes. I'm also going to get rid of the Laura Mercier Foundation Primer just because I never use this one ever. And then I'm going to get rid of this Tarte Brighten Days moisturizer. Just never going to use this one. Alright, so next up is the glitter shelf. I have a lot of glitters in here, and it's actually overflowing. Like, there are too many glitters on this shelf to handle. Alright, so I made the decision to actually get rid of all of these liquid glitters. So I have a few different ones. I have these ones from Pure. I'm also going to get rid of a bunch of my Stila Glitter and Glows just because I feel like the formula of these is very inconsistent between colors. Like, some of them are really good and then some of them are terrible. I'm also getting rid of my Colourpop Supernova shadows. The rest of them I never used because they like rain glitter on my face, and I'm not about that life. I'm also going to get rid of some of my loose glitters, so I think I'm going to get rid of this J-Cat one. It's in gold. I have too many gold loose glitters to count. Alright, so I think besides those glitters I showed you guys, the like liquid glitters, and then I'm also going to get rid of these LA Colors pigments because I never use loose pigments on my eyes, but that's all I'm going to do. Mostly what I just did up here was organize it. Okay, so I went through all the lip products just because I knew that if I did it on screen, it was going to take forever. So, as you can see, I've got swatches all over my hand. I've gone through all the lip products I want to get rid of. So I'll just show you guys how I store my lip products. Obviously, I have my ABH lip palette right here. I love that one. This little plastic container has pretty much all my favorite liquid lipsticks, and I keep it on top of this box right here. Back here, I have some of my other favorite lipsticks that I really love. Some lip liners, Colourpop lippy sticks, just like thinner lipsticks, and then some random things I really like. And then in the box is pretty much where lipsticks go to die. So inside this box, I pretty much keep all the lipsticks I don't really use that often, but I still can't get myself to get rid of. So that's what's inside the box.
What's in the box?
I'm gonna put this up here because I've already gone through this. There's no way any of these things are going. And I'll show you guys what I am getting rid of. So I'm getting rid of the last of my Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipsticks. This is the shade Stripped. I was keeping it because I really love the nude shade, but this formula is complete and total ass. It's so dry, I cannot deal with this one. So I'm getting rid of this. I'm also getting rid of one of the ABH lip glosses in the shade Rum. It's a beautiful deep shade. These are very pigmented glosses. They're kind of like a liquid lipstick, but like in a glossy formula. So I feel like this one, it's too dark of a lip gloss in this type of formula for me to ever use. I'm also getting rid of a couple lip shades that I felt like were just way too cool tone for me to ever use. So this mellow lip paint in the shade Milan, as well as this shade here from AOA Studio. It is the shade Bougie. It's kind of like a gray toned nude, and I just look terrible in gray tones. So I'm getting rid of this one. Oh, also the e.l.f. liquid lipstick in the shade Blushing Rose. Really pretty cool tone shade. Pretty much it's a perfect dupe for the Too Faced Cool Girl liquid lipstick, but it is way too cool tone for me, and also the formula is pretty drying. I'm also getting rid of some metallics. So first I'm getting rid of the Grande Lips metallic rose gold liquid lipstick, just because I never wear metallics because they are the demon that exists on this planet, as well as the Lottie London glitter switch in the shade Doesn't Really Matter because I don't care. And I just kind of hate shimmer on my lips unless it's glossy. Speaking of drying, I'm also getting rid of 2 liquid lipsticks from Black Radiance, I believe. Thought I was really gonna like, because I have tried a couple things from Black Radiance and I've enjoyed them, but these are really, really drying. I just don't like the formula of these ones. I feel like Makeup Revolution is one of those brands that has so many products that there's no way that all of them could be good, and this is just something that was like, what is this? It definitely feels like cheap makeup. I'm also getting rid of a lot of brown liquid lipsticks, so I have a few shades from Ofra that are just a little bit too like brown toned for me. I love a good brown liquid lipstick, but they're just like, sometimes it's just too grungy to a point where I feel like it looks really weird on me. Getting rid of this lipstick from C Color Cosmetics. It's like this watermelon shade. Really crazy. The formula's not bad. It smells like paint, but the formula's not awful. It's not too drying. It's just a color that I'll never wear. And then I'm also going to get rid of this Smashbox Always On in the shade Out Loud. I have 2 of these already, so I'm getting rid of this one, and I'm going to keep the other one because there's no way I will ever go through a full of this. Alright guys, so that concludes the declutter of this collection here. I'm not going to go through my lashes or my skincare just because I feel like I'm pretty happy with how that collection is going. I feel pretty good going into the new year with this collection. It is definitely big and definitely a lot more makeup than I will ever use in my lifetime, but I'm glad that I was able to declutter some stuff with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let's get into the outro. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that declutter, and I hope I did a good job. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also make sure you're following me down below on Instagram to see makeup looks insane like this one, posted pretty much every single day. So thank you guys again for watching. Thank you so much to Poshmark for sponsoring today's video. And if you made it to the very end of this video and the very end of the year, I love you. Bye.